Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So at the time of recording this video, I'm 2 weeks away from my 60th birthday. So I thought I'd treat myself. So this arrived a couple of days ago. And inside this was this. And inside this was this. The Askar SQA106. Like I say, a birthday present to myself. And we're going to take a closer look at this now. And I'm going to put it down because it's blooming heavy holding it like this. I do have to say I bought this direct from Sharpstar. I didn't buy it from a UK dealer. I have bought it, but I did get a slight discount on it because I was going to do a review. But I just have to be open and upfront about that. They've got no control over anything I say in this review. It's purely down to me. These are my opinions based on what I see, what I've got, and the results I get from it. So let's have a close look at this on the desk. And then we'll get it mounted on my pier in the shed, AstroShed, and then we'll hopefully get some imaging done with it and show you the really important stuff, and that's how it performs. So this is the Askar SQA106. It's their premium range of scopes at the moment. They do the SQA in 55mm, 70mm, 85, and at the moment this is the biggest, the 106. Now I have heard rumours of potentially a 130mm version. I don't know how true they are. Like I say, they're just rumours at the moment. But what I want to do is just talk you through this particular scope. So like I say, it's a 106mm diameter lens. It's a 509mm focal length, and it's an f4.8. Now this is a quintuplet astrograph. It means you don't need a separate flattener and reducer on the back. It's a Petzl design. 106mm. Some people have called it the Takahashi killer, but I say I'm not sure about that yet. I've never owned a Takahashi 106, but from what I've read about this, it's certainly getting absolutely excellent results. So we'll start at the front. The dew shield, single screw, very smooth and firm dew shield, and that's the fastest that I can move it. As you can see, it's so rigid. After coming from an Esprit 100 with an absolutely diabolical dew shield that flops all over the place, this is great. Let's just remove the dew cap and show you in there. If you can see, 106mm lens. Now at the front of this scope you've got a triplet lens cell, which includes one piece of SD glass, and then you think the other two pieces of glass, as it's a 5-element scope, would perhaps be at the back, but no, there's another single SD element in here, about a sort of midway somewhere, and then at the back there's another single element. So 3 at the front, single and single, and that makes up the 5 elements. It's quite small in length. It's compact for a 106mm, and the focuser only actually comes out 30mm, so it's a very compact scope. It's actually a lot smaller than my Esprit 100, which I'm really pleased about. The finish is smooth, but it's got a very slight texture to it. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Like I say, a single thumb screw on the dew shield, but that holds it absolutely rigid. In fact, I don't think it would move back. Even with a motorised flats panel on, it probably wouldn't even slide back without doing that up. It seems an excellent design. In the middle here you've got a clamshell type mount. This is all one piece with like a finder's shoe dovetail mount on the top. I'm not a great fan of this. I would prefer to be able to put a full Losmandy rail on the top, but that's just me personally. I've got to get another rail for my guide scope that will fit in this. It's the same as the finder shoes here, the same size. And it is a single clamshell design, but you have got mounting holes along the bottom there, and if I spin it round that side, you've also got mounting holes on the top here, so you can mount things such as power boxes or mini computers and things like that on the side of the actual clamshell. The dovetail on the bottom is a Losman type dovetail. It's 300mm long, so it's a nice good solid long dovetail. I've got a longer one coming for the simple reason is I have my Pegasus power box mounted underneath the dovetail at the back, so I need one just a bit longer so it matches the setup that I have now. It'll be the sort of same, so I can basically just swap this from Osprey. All the wiring and everything then will be exactly the same. So you've got a clamshell design in the middle there with your 2 thumb screws, and then if we move towards the back, you've got 2 finder shoes here where you can mount either finder scopes or maybe an ASIR again, or a mini computer, anything like that. And then to the focuser on this side, we've got the dual speed focuser on that side. I've left this cap on because I'm going to put a motor on this, and this cap doesn't actually foul the slow speed knob, so it can stay on and it can still run perfectly well with that on. Just my observatory is quite small and I don't want to take the risk of hitting that and maybe bending the shaft on it, because it is possible. So dual speed rack and pinion focuser, as I say, it only has 30mm of travel, so even if that's its maximum. Marked on the inside there. It's beautiful and smooth. It's not stiff, but you can feel that it's solid. There's no movement there at all, and if you hold each side, there's no backlash at all that I can feel in the focuser or the rack and pinion itself. You've got the usual rotator, again extremely solid and smooth, beautiful, very, very smooth. I mean, I do like it. I haven't had a rotator before because I've got an Osprey, and obviously it hasn't got a rotator on that. And then on the back, this has got the M48 ring on the back. You get 3 of these. You get an M48 that screws off. You get an M54 and you get an M68. So you've got those 3 options on the back. And then the back focus, it's a Petzval design, so you don't need the 55mm. You've got between 48 and 78. Now this is one of the reasons I wanted a scope like this, is I've got an old design QHY camera which doesn't have 17.5mm spacing, it has 23.5, so I'm limited to what I can put in. Now with this I can put literally up to 78mm worth of equipment on the back, or close to. Now it obviously recommends you'd start at 55mm, which means the focus is going to be out probably 3/4 of the distance, but obviously you can put any amount on there, and as long as you reach focus, then it's optimal distance. You haven't got to worry about having exactly 55mm. All you've got to worry about is reaching focus with the Petzval design. So I should be putting my camera, tilt adjuster and a filter wheel on the back, and I'm probably going to be at somewhere around 65mm, so the focus is probably going to be out around 15mm, something like that, which is fine. I like to keep it as close in as I can with just enough room for focusing. I don't like to have them all the way out, although like I say, this is only 30mm when it's all the way out. It's purely an imaging scope. I think you'd struggle with the diagonal on because of the limited focus travel. You'd struggle with the diagonal to reach focus. It's quite heavy at around, I think it's around 8 kilograms with everything on. A little bit heavier than the Osprey, but like I say, it is a little bit smaller. So, beautiful scope. I'm going to get this mounted on my pier, and then hopefully we're going to get some imaging done, and I'm going to show you what everybody's interested in, and that's how good the images are, how good the star shapes. It's supposed to cover up to 55mm. It's got a 55mm imaging circle. I've only got an APS-C camera, so I'll just be using it with that for now. But there are videos out there. I think Luke from Lucamatico's done one with a full frame camera and got amazing results with that, so shouldn't have a problem at all. But yeah, I'm really excited about trying this. So yeah, let's get it on the mount and give it a try. So today I'm going to be completely dismantling my Esprit 100 rig here and swapping it over for the new Askar SQA106mm. Removing the guide scope first as a complete unit. Try and leave all the cables intact that I can do. Counterweight balance on the front. Power to the power box. And also the USB, and then the whole lot really can be taken off in one complete unit. I think I'll disconnect the cameras. Now what I've got to do now is completely disassemble all of the rails and that off the Esprit, and then like I say, I'm going to build it back up on the Askar 106. Okay, so I'm using this dovetail Losmandy plate on the new scope. I've taken the Askar one off. I want to use this one because obviously it's a lot longer and there's room to put my Pegasus power box under the back here, which is where I have it mounted. Askar only do a 400mm maximum length bar. This one is 19 inches, so around 470mm. So I've taken the mounting bracket off the Askar, bolted it to this. Now we're going to get the tube and put it into the clamshell. Okay, so this is the nerve-wracking bit now, lifting the tube into the clamshell and tightening it up. As you can see here, I've already got the Astro Oasis bracket fitted ready for the motor focuser. I've done this while it was on my desk. Just turn the camera around a little bit. So you can see here now the normal bracket for these focusers just clamps over the body of the focuser. You can't on this one, you have to have this utility kit because there isn't enough room here for the clamp to actually go on. So it bolts underneath and then it's there, it fits round just in front of the housing, and then the motor clamps to this, which I'll show you at a later date. It's extremely nose heavy at the moment. Okay, so I've got the tube in, got it clamped in, put my Pegasus power box under the back here, just put a couple of the cables in. Still got to add the motor focus, I've still got to add my guide scope to the top, still got to add my flats panel, automated flats panel to the top there. It's back heavy now, but by the time the flats panel's on, guide scopes on, that's probably going to be somewhere close. I do have to have this weight mounted on the side here, which is on the SEM mounts. You need to balance in 3D, so when it's upright like that and the deck clutch is loosened, it needs to stay still. It shouldn't fall one way or the other, and that is to balance it. Might need adjusting when everything else is on, but at the moment it's okay. Okay, so I've got my automated flats panel here, and this ring obviously is the original outside of the ring for the Esprit 100, and I've had to 3D print this inner ring here, and then I've also felt lined it, so I printed it very slightly undersize, and then I've put a lining of felt around it, so you can see it's got this extra ring now to make up for the space, because it's the Esprit was a 145mm diameter, this is a 137mm diameter, so just created that ring to go in there, and it's worked very well. I have tried it and it fits extremely well. Not sure this is going to fit. Oh well, it's clear the roof. So yeah, that's how I had it before. So it was opening. It opened that way. That balance is pretty much perfect there. I'm not sure whether to have it opening that side or to have it opening the other side. Okay, so got the flaps panel on, got it cabled up. I've now got the motor focuser on and also cabled up. I'm just putting a couple of cable ties on, and then that just leaves me the guide scope to sort out. Little bit more tidying of the cables, and then a proper 3D balance test, make sure it's all completely balanced, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm out imaging tonight. I've got the new Askar SQA106 on my mount, as you can see here in this picture from a CCTV camera in the AstroShed. I've done a few blocks of images, but I'm actually on the Iris Nebula at the moment, because this has got quite a lot of stars right into the corners. So I thought I'd do this because this is going to be a good test for this scope, just to see how good the star shapes are. I had a few issues with my focusing early on because I had to put a new focuser on this scope, and it's just getting used to it really, but I think I've got it dialed in now pretty good. Guiding, as you can see at the bottom here, since I moved to this target, has been really good. It seems to have settled around 0.5. So I'm just taking a run of 60 second exposures of the Iris Nebula with my one-shot colour 268 QHY268C camera. So what I want to show you now really is basically how good the star shapes are on this scope. Now, I know many people on YouTube, when they do videos of telescopes and they show you images of stars and they blow them up, I never think they enlarge them enough for you to actually see them on YouTube properly. So I'm actually going to go probably a bit overkill on this now. I'm not just going to go 1:1. I'm actually going to blow it up to a real pixel level, something like that, so you can really see. So what we're going to do is we're going to move to the top right corner first of all. That's the top right hand corner. I mean, you can see how much it's blown up, because even the hot pixels are great big square blocks. Obviously the stars, as you can see, lovely and round right the way into the corner. You know, you can see the pixels. What I will say is there is some chromatic aberration on this telescope. You can see here the blue side around there and the red side around there, and the same with this star here. In fact, the same with all these. I think Quiv the Lazy Geek picked up on this when he did a review of his particular example that he's got. I haven't got any issues with the flares on the stars like he was getting, but again, that could just be down to the sample that he got. So if we move now down to somewhere near the middle of the frame on the right hand side, again we can see stars are still perfectly around. I hope you can see this. Like I say, I've blown it up nice and big because I never think you can see them properly. I've watched a few videos about this scope and they've said, oh yeah, look how good the stars are in the corners. And to be honest, I couldn't see how round they were. So we're moving now down towards the bottom right corner. And there we are, right into the bottom right corner. As you can see, still perfectly round, all these stars. Move across the bottom. This is a single 60-second exposure. About there you can see again, lovely and round. This is only an APS-C sensor, it's not full frame. This scope is good up to full frame and bigger. So again, that's the bottom left corner. Again, all perfectly round stars. And then we'll move up this left hand side of the image. And again, all lovely, perfectly round. Still see some chromatic aberration, although not quite as bad on some of these. Go up. There's quite a bright star there, and there's no real flares on that. And then right up to the top left hand corner, and that's right in the top left hand corner. As you can see, these stars again are still perfectly round. And then we'll go across the top, perfectly round all the way across. I mean, I'm more than happy with this. This is better than my Esprit. I used to get a slight elongation in the far corners, even along the top and bottom edges sometimes as well. And this is better. So very similar. It's a 509mm focal length f4.8, and then across all the way across the top, back to the perfectly round, back to the top right hand corner. So here's the aberration inspector on the latest sub just come in. This is at 29%. Just blow that up a bit more. So this is the top. As you can see, top right and left corners, perfectly round. And then we'll move right down to the bottom. See the iris there in the middle, and then right down to the bottom. Bottom right corner again, perfectly round, and bottom left corner. So yeah, that's really showing you it blown up at 300% there, just how good the stars are coming from this scope on an APS-C size sensor. So thanks for watching. I hope you like what you see. If you are interested in one of these scopes, then yeah, I can highly recommend it. It is a beautiful scope, and it's certainly the nicest one that I've ever owned and probably ever will own. So yeah, think about subscribing if you haven't already, and leaving a like, and until the next one, clear skies.